You're such an asshole.
Continuing to contribute to GDP at assholeconsulting.com. I don't think this industry will ever get big enough to show up on the NIPA accounts. National Income Production accounts? Is that what it's called? NIPA accounts. I forgot what it meant. Because I haven't been paid to be an economist in a long-ass time. Hello, Mr. Asshole. I'm requesting your advice on how to move forward in my current situation. I'm a 24-year-old white male, and the most modest of ways of saying this, I'm tall, 6'4", and consider myself to be attractive with a good build from playing college basketball for 4 years. I have a dual degree in biochemistry and accounting, and I'm currently in my second year of pharmacy school. Awesome! I have no debt from undergrad due to having a full ride. Pharmacy school, however, will cost $100,000 in loans by the time this is all said and done. Fortunately, I come from an extremely conservative family, borderline cult at times. We do not believe in federal loans. Thus, my dad paid for school in full and is going to charge me the amount plus the amount that he would have made annually with the money being in the savings account. A good deal in my opinion. When I got out of pharmacy school, I'll be 27. My parents recently bought a new home in the same neighborhood as their last home, but kept their old home and plan to give it to me when I get out. It must be awesome, like, doing life right. Like, what if we just fucking did it right, guys? What if everybody just did it right like this guy's parents did? My husband was a dick. My wife was a bitch. I didn't get married. Whoops, I just got pregnant. I didn't mean to get pregnant. They say it's helped me get started, but I know it's just their underhanded way of making sure their grandchildren live in the same town as they. Hey, dude! Hey! If they have every right. If they can afford to give you a house, it's like, hey, here, and you'll want to give them, like, here, take the fucking kids. Me and my wife are going to get the hell out of here. That is my financial situation. I also aspire to have a long-term relationship by the time I'm 30, but absolutely no children until I am financially stable. This is where I've struggled as of late. Until last year, I was in a relationship of 7 years. She was a great girl and perfect wife potential. We are from the same hometown, and we graduated valedictorian with me being 1 year ahead of her. She broke things off because she realized she wanted to see what is out there. I understand she is 23, is most likely the most sexually opportunistic time in her life, and I do not fault her for it. All right, good. So you understand she's banging other guys. You understand that. Notice, oh, how do I get her back? I love her. I love her. Then I realized how hard it is for me to meet another high-quality woman. The past year, I have been in 5 separate one-month relationships that I ended, and holy shit, I do not know what to do in order to tolerate these women. One was a feminist who got pissed at me for opening the door for her, and then yelled at me for asking if she wanted to pay for some of the ticket at dinner. The next was from California, who actually stated, I don't believe in what the FDA tells me is okay to take. Then she would fucking want to date then why would she want to date a fucking pharmacist? I want to date a woman from my class or from the med school next door, but despite the class size being 68% women, every attractive girl is either married or engaged. One of the downsides of living in the South, I suppose. Yeah, and then a lot of those gals are they're young, but I'm wondering how much of it is Asian culture as well. Because or if it's just like some guys know it or their parents. I don't believe young men figure it out. I don't believe like, hey, she's becoming a doctor. Oh, there's no bullshit over there. Oh, she has very good conservative parents. I don't think I'm going to ask her. I don't think that happens. I think it's parents influencing it or religion. One of the downsides is I am starting to feel like I'm falling behind as both of my best friends just got engaged to their girlfriends this last year, both of which are very high quality, as well as my little sister getting married well as this year. All right, here. Is it a race? You're in fucking pharmacy school. I mean, it's not like you've been staying at home at your parents' place jerking off to porn and watching fucking The Amazing Atheist. All right? Which is one and the same. But on a serious note, you've been busy. Little busy guy. All right? That's one of the drawbacks. I had no sex life in college. I was too busy working and going to school. There just isn't the time. Right? But you are going to be coming out of college with I think, yeah, it is a doctoral. You get a doctorate. You are a doctor, but you're going to be making your, 150, 160 median income? Right? You're not in it for the short. There's some sacrifices you make today, so you may excel beyond most people in tomorrow. It's not even a competition then. It's just so you have an easier life. And then at that point, you'll be worried about finding a wife. Not to say that, like, a nice gal comes in and she's a transfer student. Here's Bambi, the fuck goddess pharmacology major. They're like, huh? And she likes tall guys. Holy shit. And she's like, oh my God, may I suck your dick? And then I'll wash dishes and I'll do this and I'll have children. I too want to be a pharmacist. Okay, that could happen. I'm not saying kick her out of bed. But right now your goal is not wifey poo world. Right? And your sister included, half those marriages are going to end in divorce. Oh, well, they're really mad. I'm amazed, like, the people that I saw got married, like, some of my best friends, I'm like, oh, yeah, they're totally going to, like, they're going to be married forever. Oh, I know my buddy Jenny. She's smarter than fuck. She wouldn't date no slouch. And sure enough, everyone's divorced. Right? So don't think that these are successes. As a matter of fact, me and the girlfriend, we won't even buy wedding gifts. We said, we'll buy you a 10-year anniversary gift. Because we buy pretty nice gifts, for people getting married like 10, 15 years. All fucking divorced. It's like, no, fuck you. No, I'm not getting you a fucking wedding gift. Go fuck yourself. I don't care where you're registered. When you got a 10-year reunion coming up, then I'll get you the fucking dishes. Just would have saved a lot more money. What would you do? Continue to improve myself or actively search for women while I'm in school? Because honestly, after sex with these last few, I think I'd rather reopen my textbook than fucking listen to what they are saying. You are wise beyond your age. Wise beyond your years. I think it's also because you had what sounded like a pretty reasonable girl. You got a life going on. And what was I gonna say? And yeah, you're starting to realize the low quality shit that is out there. And it is wise to go back and focus on your studies. Focus on you. You do you. We do cars, or whatever the fucking Acura commercial is. Also, how would you approach paying off my family debt and building wealth? Factors: the median salary for pharmacists in my state is $117,000. And most pharm med students graduate with a mean of $140,000 of the debt in our state. In case I do manage to start dating a woman from these fields. Well, how would I pay it? You're just going to work as a pharmacist. How did you think you were going to pay it off? I mean, you going to go strip? Are you a really good-looking guy? Is there a gay club down there that you can strip and make a lot of money? Otherwise, you just live minute. Look, you get the free house. For fuck's sake. It really doesn't get any better than that. So your dad's kind of subsidizing the med school there. You're going to land a job at least 100 figures. You're not going to have any rental expense. Just live as a minimalist, and then you should be able to bang it out in 3 years, I'd imagine. And then it's all gravy from there. All right. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. You say, then I ask you, like, do you got hobbies or something else? Hang on. How much social activity do you get in volleyball or hobbies? And you say, okay. My card isn't currently letting me make a payment. As for hobbies, I usually play basketball around 3 times a week at my church league. I love to fish. I am a certified blacksmith via apprenticeship over 2 years of a trade school, although that is now mostly just a fun thing I do, as usually I'm making horseshoes for a quick bit of cash on the side or welding the occasional pipe. The job was actually a job my grandfather made me get in high school because he thought I was becoming a millennial sissy boy that you reference occasionally. You two would get along. And he stated I needed more life skill. Well, that's good. You can weld. I'm currently trying to get better at golf because I know my body won't be able to dunk the basketball forever. I need a sporting hobby later in life. I don't know. Golf is not a lot of hot chicks in golf. Because I've started golfing too, and I'm still one of the younger guys, and these guys are all old fat dudes. I also attend church every week, despite not being a true Christian. The amount of connections I get there, as well as the good moral values I believe it teaches young children, make it worthy in my eyes. The problem, while these hobbies I believe are fulfilling, none of them, with perhaps the exception of the church, are conducive for meeting women. Yeah. I know part of the reason is because I formed most of these hobbies while I was in a long-term relationship during which meeting women wasn't a priority. I'm open to suggestions you have for improving my hobby life. I have also made preparations for it. I freed up much time. I'm going to put myself study boot camp. Jesus Christ, what are you... Dude, what the fuck? You're studying programming boot camp? Okay, all right. You're one of these Uber mentions, and you are, because I know another guy like you. We call him the genetic experiment that's gone right. And he also is a blacksmith. He's also a computer programmer. He's a yachtsman. He knows how to sail. And that's not even his real job. Matter of fact, I forgot what his real job. Oh, no, his real job. Oh, he's in the Air Force. Is his real job programming? He's just this, you stand next to him and like, wow, I'm shit compared to you. Here's what I would. I know I'm thinking like go hobbies and all that. That's not your primary concern. Your primary concern, get your work done, get your degree done, focus on your career. And that's the number one thing. This isn't to say you're dead to the world, that you shouldn't go have fun, or that you should give up any of these hobbies. But I would start looking, if you want to start chasing after girls or try something different, I look into running, volleyball, something more co-ed, something where there's more girls. Ballroom dancing may be a really good, because I don't know in your state what the ballroom community life is like salsa or swing. That'd be something to kind of poke your nose into a dance class to see what the girl to guy ratio is, because usually, but not always, there's more girls than men, but boy, it depends on demographics, because there'll be more girls than men, but it's all pissed off divorced baby boomer fat sows that don't have any money, and they're looking for a husband to kind of take over and give them more money. It really depends. But if it's a university setting, okay, so there's some girls there. Volleyball, as I said before. Running, I think, is pretty good. Not a lot of overweight chicks in running clubs. And what else? But you got your options. Go on meetup groups and stuff like that. But here's the thing: don't put any hope or expectations into that, right? Because then you'll get depressed if nothing happens. Because, man, I think there's something happening demographically. Because the 90s were great. Like, there were girls all over the place. And then they all got married, and then the baby boomer divorcees came in, and you're like, okay, well, I guess there's some cougars here, maybe. But it just became a dearth. And, like, there's no desire on a lot of young women or men to go out and start finding... Because all these girls are going for their careers as well. So I would not get too excited. Don't put any hope or expectations into this plan. This is just for you to try a trial and error. But your main gig, become a pharmacist, pay off your debts. And then when you have a little bit more free time, then you can start looking for women. But here's the other thing, dude. You're in no rush. You are in no rush. All right, if you're in shape, you can a man's shelf life lasts a lot longer than women's. I'm 42, and there's only one time I've been in better shape now than I was, than I am today. But I was running 12 miles a day, and I was hitting the gym 2 hours a day. I looked real good. Skinny as fuck, but shredded. It's just like, I could probably go. It becomes a pain in the ass, but I could probably go date a 25-year-old if I wanted to. I'd have to tolerate the shit you're tolerating, but that's not where you are. You focus, career, pay off the debt. You're in no rush. You got plenty of time. If you keep yourself in shape, your dating range is very, very wide. You can find yourself a wife that still will be able to bear children. And when all of a sudden you're making six figures, then all of a sudden a lot more girls come out of the woodwork. You're like, oh, where were you? Well, I don't know. There's just something about you. I just didn't know. It was your paycheck. So, now's not the time to worry about women. Now is not the time for fear. That comes later. So, yes, the career, paying off your debts, and in the meantime, maybe one or two hobbies. I think you should absolutely I don't like the fact that you give up one of your hobbies. If you want to go to boot camp, you want to go to church, you want to play basketball, go do it. Keep on doing that makes you happy. But maybe ballroom dancing, one little hobby here or there, and you'll be able to test the waters. If all of a sudden there's like girls throwing themselves, okay, maybe dedicate a little bit more time and resources to that. But I would not have any expectations. Not there's something happening demographically nationwide where it's just not there. Because when I was your age, it was great. Now, of course, I was a ballroom dance instructor. It was just like, oh, I was a kid in the candy store. But your goal is to become a pharmacist. So little dip of toe in the water here, maybe go for a run over there, maybe go to a ballroom dance class. But if you don't find any girls, don't force it. Go back to the basics, go back to what you like to do, and then when another hobby comes up that maybe you want to try, go ahead and do it. But yeah, I would not be worried at all. And that's why I think you're like, oh God, I'm not falling behind. No. Men don't fall behind. We do not fall behind. Our bargaining position and our bargaining power only increases. We only fall behind, I'd say, at like 50. That's when we really start falling behind, where it's okay, now I'm too old to date the hot 20, and you better have a shit ton of money. But even that time, you don't want a girl that just wants money. And then you're looking at the widows or single mommy world. It's just kind of like, yeah. But you are very, very, very far away from 50. All right, you kids got questions, go contact your older brother, Cappy, at assholeconsulting.com. And if you want, get my books. The best one being probably for this video would be Bachelor Pad Economics. That's a must-read for all of you. But then we got other books like Curse of the High IQ and Poor Richard's Retirement and Worthless. And then tune into the podcast. It's over on SoundCloud. It's called The Clary Podcast. We'll see you kids later. Toodles.